What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another exciting episode of TV. I am your host, Jay Wilson, and man, I got some news for you today. Trump just signed another executive order. If you haven't heard of the National Security Presidential Memorandum 7, pay attention, listen close. I got it for you right here, right now. Hit that like button and subscribe to TV and hit that notification bell to get the latest videos coming from our channel. Let's get into this.
Lastly, sir, this is a presidential memorandum on countering domestic terrorism and organized political violence. In recent weeks, months, and years, we've seen a tremendous upsurge in some highly visible, but also other acts of domestic terrorism and organized political violence being perpetrated by radical, politically motivated groups all over the country. What this presidential memorandum will do is set off an administration-wide response to that, ranging from the Joint Terrorism Task Forces to other components of the Department of Justice, to the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Treasury. We're looking at interdicting these groups, preventing them from performing acts of violence, and also looking at sources of organization and funding and support that prop them up and allow them to do the acts that they have been doing.
We're looking at the funders of a lot of these groups, and when you see the signs, and they're all beautiful signs made professionally. These aren't your protesters that make the sign in their basement late in the evening because they really believe it. These are anarchists and agitators, professional anarchists and agitators, and they get hired by wealthy people, some of whom I know, I guess, probably know them. And you wouldn't know it. You're at dinner with them, everything's nice, and then you find out that they funded millions of dollars to these lunatics. Steve, could you say a couple of words?
Yes, Mr. President. This is a very historic and significant day. This is the first time in American history that there is an all-of-government effort to dismantle left-wing terrorism, to dismantle Antifa, to dismantle the organizations that have been carrying out these acts of political violence and terrorism. What we have seen, if you look at whether it be going back to the riots that started with Black Lives Matter and all the way through to the Antifa riots, the attacks on ICE officers, the doxing campaigns, and now the political assassinations, these are not lone, isolated events. This is part of an organized campaign of radical left terrorism. It is structured, it is sophisticated, it is well-funded, it is well-planned. There is really no parallel like this to anything else in the country right now. There is an entire system of feeder organizations that provide money, resources, weapons, and when they're attacking ICE officers, they're attacking federal buildings, or they're isolating public officials for harassment, doxing, intimidation, and ultimately attempted assassination. It is all carefully planned, executed, and thought through. It is terrorism on our soil. Because of this executive order, Cash and Pam are going to have the tools they need, working with Scott, to take these organizations apart piece by piece. And the central hub of that effort is going to be the Joint Terrorism Task Force, or JTTF, which sits inside the Federal Bureau of Investigation. But for those at home who are worried about terrorism in this country, they need to understand, because of President Trump's strength, because of his vision, because of his leadership, we are now going to use the entire force of the federal government to uproot these organizations root and branch. And again, that's only possible because of President Trump.
There you have it, folks. You heard it first, straight out of the horse's mouth. Don't look at this as something that you can just brush off. Oh, Trump's just lying and he's just trying to attack people of color and black people and I done heard it all. We going back, black people going back into slavery. They actually believe and they say things like this. This is what I hear coming from people like me, coming from people of color. But what I hear when I watch this, and where my mind takes me is to, if you're legal and you're doing what you're supposed to do, you have nothing to worry about. We're not going back into slavery. They have now labeled BLM and Antifa politically organized domestic terrorism. And they promote domestic violence. They promote violence domestically. So that means that they're going to be coming after these groups. When you take a look at Black Lives Matter, it's black, left-leaning people, which is the majority of the black community. That means that these groups are going to be targeting, coming after what looks like Black Lives Matter supporters. Most of y'all support Black Lives Matter. This is coming straight at us. This is coming straight at black people, man. And it's not because they're racist. It's not because we not doing anything wrong. If you remember the Black Lives Matters riots, how horrible they were, that is grounds for being labeled a domestic terrorist. I know y'all gonna call me names and say that I'm tap dancing and all of that, but facts are facts, truths are truths. I stand on the side of truth. I pick God over race any day, and I'm gonna speak the truth when I see it. They're coming at black people because most of us support Black Lives Matter. Me, I've never supported Black Lives Matter from day one. Ask anybody that knows me from the past. If I support Black Lives Matter, I know that they will tell you that I don't. If they know me, they know that I never supported Black Lives Matter. I thought it was stupid when it first started. When I saw the riots, I thought that was stupid. Seeing black people tear up their own neighborhoods, burn down their own stores, rob, loot, steal, commit crimes, trash the streets in their own communities, bringing down the property value more than it was already brought down just off of basic living. Black Lives Matter was ran and led by 4 lesbian black women. They ran the campaign, they ran the charge off the back of George Floyd's death. George Floyd was a drug addict, street hoodlum. He put a gun to a pregnant lady's stomach, threatened to shoot her in the stomach with the baby in there if she didn't give up her cash. When they found him, he was full of marijuana, fentanyl, cocaine, and ain't no telling what all other drugs they found in his body. And they're saying from the autopsy that that's what George Floyd died from. So you take that incident that happened with that man. The police put his knee on his neck. They're saying that he died from a drug overdose. Black people are saying that George Floyd died from the cop leaving the knee on his neck. There's confusion there. And now we get, out of all of that, we get Black Lives Matter, an organization ran by 4 lesbian, gay women. Lesbian and gay women 99% of the time do not like men. So they did not like George Floyd. They wouldn't have liked the type of man that he was. After you heard what he done to the pregnant woman, you would definitely think that they wouldn't like him. I don't even like him, and I'm a man. He was a horrible person. And if you went to the BLM's mission statement, when they first started, it told you that they were about LGBTQ and feminism. There was nothing on there for black men. There was nothing on there for men in general. I don't care what your race was. There was nothing that they promoted or pushed for men to have. It was strictly LGBTQIA, whatever it's called, feminism, and they say people of color, but it was really women of color or gays of color. That's what they promoted. That's what they stood for. That's what they believed in helping. And then when they got millions of dollars, what was it? Like $90 million? They done nothing to help the black communities. They done nothing to help black people. They done nothing to help the LGBTQIA community. They done nothing to help black women, black feminists. They done nothing to help none of these categories. They use all of that funding to buy mansions in LA, mansions in California, flying out first class to this country, flying out first class to another country. They balled. They balled off the back of George Floyd and all of the black people that always fall for the pro-black, everybody's racist, white people are racist, they're the devil agenda. That's what they fell for. That's where your money went, and that's what they done with it. And believe it or not, you still got idiots with BLM signs holding them up. They was just at the TSU campus with BLM signs chasing off Cam Higsby and the Fearless Tour debaters. I don't know what it's going to take for black people to wake up, but this right here is going to wake them up. I already know what they're going to cry. Mark my words. We're going to see it, and I'm going to come back and do a video on it. They're going to cry racism. Trump just signed an executive order to go after BLM. They're going to start screaming racism. I bet you whoever hears about this, they're already screaming it right now. Now, I kind of got derailed, but let's get back into Antifa. Antifa is funded by the wealthy, the billionaires that want to push the left's agenda. Antifa will be out there with the Black Lives Matter, creating chaos, rioting, tearing things up. Antifa was out there with the No Kings protest that they just recently had, causing havoc, violence, fighting. That's why they're labeled domestic terrorists. When you tear up the cities in the United States of America, that's domestic terrorism. You're going against the country. And they got something for you. It's called a National Security Presidential Memorandum by executive order by President Donald Trump and the Trump administration. Antifa is full of young white liberals that are paid to go out and cause chaos. They're funded and they're given gas masks, signs, travel fare. They get bussed from city to city to cause havoc at any type of protest. Trump has just signed in the order this memorandum, and it's full of everybody. You got Kash Patel right there. You got Pam Bondi right there. The directors of the FBI, they're in on it. And if you paid attention to the video, they said that this is the first time in American history that there is an all-government effort to dismantle left-wing terrorism. And within the categories of left-wing terrorism, at the top of the list is BLM and Antifa. They're coming after you guys. They're bringing out the guns. They bringing out the guns, man, and they're going to take down anybody that's left-wing and they feel like you're a terrorist, national terrorist organization. They're saying that there was a recent upsurge politically motivated groups in this country. And the Memorandum 7 will set off an administrative nationwide response. That's what the man just said. That's what Stephen just said. An administrative nationwide response to this upsurge in domestic terrorism. This will be set a nationwide response ranging from the Joint Terrorism Task Force and other components of the Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, and the Department of Treasury. Now, I know what you're asking. Why is the Department of Treasury in there? Why are they involved? Because they're going to bring out all the funding, whatever they need to take down these terrorist groups. BLM. Listen, black people. You better get right. Antifa. They are coming for you guys. They're going to make sure that they're well armed, they're well funded, they're well informed, and they're going to hit the spots that they want to hit. And there's going to be some innocent people, just like you see what's going on with immigration. You got some people that look Hispanic or Venezuelan or Haitian. You got some people that just look the part. and ICE is grabbing them up. And once they can verify their citizenship in America, then they let them go. The ones that can't verify, off, away you go, deportation, back to your country. Now, when it comes to BLM, black people, we all looked the part. So, they might be pulling us over. They might be checking us out. They might be checking your social media. No, don't get mad. Y'all was cheering when we was tearing down our own cities and neighborhoods, rioting for George Floyd, the dope fiend. We was cheering then. Don't cry now. You better clean yourself up because they coming. And for all of y'all that don't remember and y'all's gonna say that I'm tap dancing and I'm Sambo and I'm all of that stupid stuff, say it down in the comments. I don't care. I'm not gonna block you. I'm about to remind you. I'm about to remind you right now of what BLM did, why they're labeled a terrorist group, and what's going on with them. Here's the video right here. This is Minneapolis. That right there was Minneapolis after the BLM and Antifa riots in 2020. There was 20 police officers killed and 6,000 injured. 6,000 police officers injured, 20 police officers killed, 25 civilians dead, and over $2 billion in damages during the BLM and Antifa riots in 2020. And Antifa been acting a fool now. BLM is still peeking his head out every once in a while. And y'all wonder why this memorandum was signed by President Trump and why he's coming after you. He's coming after you. Black Lives Matter. Yep, Black Lives, he's coming after you. Y'all have successfully turned what could have been a positive movement with peaceful protests, actually changing and doing things in the black community by gathering together after you had the momentum, looking at each other and making changes in your community, helping the youth, bring families back together and help black people get closer to God, help black people get educational programs, help black people get funding for education for the ones that wanted it. Instead of doing that, you decided to burn down, tear up your cities, scream and shout about George Floyd, the man that died from an overdose. Or was it the knee on the neck? Or was it both? Hell, we don't know. He was getting high, stealing and robbing and trying to swindle off a fake $20 bill in the store when he went the day that he died. That's why the police was there on the scene. And he was already in the police car. He kept being very, very belligerent. And they got him out of the car. And he was tall. He was a big dude. He got out of the car wrestling with him, fighting with him, and they ended up, he lost his life. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate to us because we're thinking with sympathy. But what about the people he was harassing on a daily? The family members that he was stealing from so he can get his next hit? It's probably a relief that he's gone. And this is just the truth. I got another video for you. All right, in this video it says buildings destroyed in the 2020 Minneapolis riots, BLM and Antifa riots. I turned the volume down because it has some stupid music playing. Now these are the building, that's that building after the riots. Look at that building right there. Look at it now, after the riots. Let's go back because we went through that first one real fast. This is what the building looked like before the riots. Nice building, looks like a bank or something like that. I'm not sure what that is. This is in Minneapolis. This is the building before the riots. This is what was left after the riots. Look at that. Almost the whole structure is gone. How did they get that? What happened? Wait a minute, let's go back. Look what that turned into. Oh my God. Look at that building now. Now let's go over. Okay, now that looks like Minneapolis Liquors. Okay, that was a liquor store. Oh my God. BLM and Antifa? BLM, black people? With a free-for-all at a liquor store? That's why that building looked the way it looked when they came. Look at it. A liquor store, $12.99, $14.99. We got the drink, pull up, drink, slurp out, drink, faded, yeah, faded, drink. Look what they did to that liquor. The shelves are clean. It don't even got no front doors, no windows on it anymore. We just out here getting drunk, party. We gonna tear up everything. We gonna get all the liquor out first, then we gonna burn it down. We drinking everything, all the 1800, all the Taco Vodka. You know they got all the Ciroc, every flavor. They had Ciroc for days. They just got faded. Pull up, drink, sip out, drink, faded, drink, faded, drink. Room full of liquor, only 2 or 3 shots. I'ma show you how to turn it up a notch. First we get a pool full of liquor and we dive in. Pool full of liquor and we dive in. Look at them. Look at this. The liquor store is gone, man. They had a Denny's right there on the corner. Look at Denny's right there. Okay, Denny's. Right there on the corner of East Lake Street in Minneapolis. Look at it now. Burnt the top sign down. Let's compare and contrast. Burn the signs down. Windows knocked out of all them businesses down the wall right there. Look how them businesses used to look down the wall right there. Making money, good day. We trying to gain a profit over here. Entrepreneurs. Look at that. Look at it now. This is after BLM and Antifa. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Fried chicken. Know them black folks love their fried chicken. You think they probably went in there and fried up all the chicken before they tore that down. Look at that right there. Fried chicken. They got their fried chicken, but they said, but you know what? Man, since they killed my crackhead homeboy, George Floyd, man, we gonna get us some chicken. We gonna fry all the chicken. We gonna bust the windows out. Go in there. Hey, man, get the flour. Get the batter, man. Get some of them good fries at Popeyes, that Cajun rice. We gonna make a meal and stuff, and then we gonna run out of here with all of it and leave the store like this right here. Gone. Oh my God, man. Hey, man. Boy, I can't even say black people, man, but I don't want to say what I want to say, man. You N-words. Those were N-words, man. They took the whole chicken spot. They just took the whole restaurant. A group effort, an organized effort. What do you call it? A choreographed effort. The black people came together for something for once. And it was a group effort to get the whole complete Popeyes chicken restaurant Back to the hood, man. Back to the neighborhood. Back to their house. They got into somebody's backyard, man. Listen, man. They all got that chicken house. They all got on all four corners and counted to 3 and lifted it up. Hee, ho, hee, ho. Lifted the chicken. The whole restaurant is gone, man. They just said, man, we just gonna take the Popeyes. We want a franchise. We gonna start our own franchise, man. This is crazy. Oh my God, man. That's got to be the funniest thing of all, man. They took the whole Popeye, boy. Oh my God, man. Hey, I like me some fried chicken too, man. Damn, I should have been there, man. Get me some of that chicken. Y'all burned all of, man, y'all just took all the fried chicken. Perkins restaurant. That look like, I never heard of Perkins. We don't got that here in Texas where I'm at. My neck of the woods, but let's see what they done to Perkins. Oh, okay, they didn't do too much to that. I don't know why. It look like don't that look like the white people restaurant where they would go? Okay, we got rodeo restaurant. Okay, and then no, it say rodeo on the corner, but it's the check cashing place. They probably went in there and burned up all the files and stuff. No, if you owe somebody or you got credit or title loans, it got loans and credit cards and all of that. Yeah, they probably tore that on up. They burned that down, try to burn the files up. They've been in debt for years with that place on that people. Them people been charging them ridiculous interest rates. They put them right there in the hood so y'all can go and use them. Interest rate be so high, you'll never catch up. You go in there making payments thinking you paying it off the whole time. Every time you make a payment, that's interest. When you come back and you make that minimum payment on that thing, they done added double the amount of what you owe for the month in interest. So every time you pay, you ain't doing nothing but paying interest, and it's steady going up at the same time. You'll never get out of them loans. I don't even know why people go to them places. That's crazy. Let's see what they did to that, man. I bet you they burned that sucker. Ooh, I told you, man. They wasn't never getting out of the loan, man. They wasn't never getting out of the loan. They burnt that whole thing down. They wanted all them files gone. All the documents. All the HDMI, all the hard drives, all of that. What is it? HDMI, the disc. They got rid of all the evidence. They said, oh, no. Ain't no more making our life hell with this right here. Okay, we got the Speedway gas station. I know they had a little liquor in there and stuff. Let's see what they did to the Speedway. Where there's people, there's power. They painted all over it. They didn't do that one too bad. Don't look like it. I don't know. They tore some stuff up though over there. Yeah, they tore that old Speedway up, man. They tore it up, but they used it as a billboard for where there's people, there's power. Yeah, power to tear stuff up, to destroy, to tear things down, because that's all you did. You use your power, and as soon as you get some power, a little bit, you use it for the wrong thing. Nothing positive came from it. No families were saved. No families were helped. No families were fed. Nobody got a better education. Nobody got a better career. You didn't help anybody out financially. All you did was take those people nice sign down, and you got up there and you nigger rigged the bullshit sign. Oh my God, see, you got me cussing. I'm not supposed to be cussing. I'm a Christian man. Listen, you got this, you tore your stuff down, you put that raggedy sign up there, man. You took that Speedway sign up there and you put that raggedy sign up there and said it looks like power. That's supposed to be power. Sad, man. We sad. We sad, man. The Family Dollar. Oh my God. We know y'all love the Family Dollar. We know it, man. Y'all went in there and got all the cleaning supply. Look, the whole Family Dollar. Look, it's gone. The whole Family Dollar gone. They tore the whole Family Dollar down. They took the Family Dollar back to the hood. Group effort, choreographed effort. A bunch of men, when I say group effort, a bunch of men, they lifted the whole brick and mortar off of its foundation and took it back to the hood. That's what they done with the Popeyes chicken and the Family Dollar. So typical. So typical, man. So typical. And this is what Black Lives Matter done to Minneapolis in 2020 along with their partners Antifa, and now they're labeled a terrorist group. 5 years later, it's coming back to bite you. You will reap what you sow. So, now that you know what the National Security Presidential Memorandum 7 is, and Trump signed it into office and declaring BLM and Antifa as domestic terrorist political violence organizations. And there's been a recent upsurge in more radically politically motivated groups in this country. So now that you know that, and you know what the memorandum is, and I gave you a clue of who Black Lives Matter is, joined with Antifa and what it is that they do. They destroy, they kill, they steal, they create chaos, and they don't do nothing but tear the cities down, even their own neighborhoods. So you're probably wondering about who are the wealthy people that Trump was speaking about. You know, the ones that he said that he may know because they may sit down and have lunch with him and smile and act like everything is okay. And behind his back, they're going and they're funding these terrorist groups to go against the Trump administration's agenda for the country. He was speaking about betrayal. And I know we all can relate with betrayal when it comes to our spouse or even our kids or family members, close friends. People betray people and it hurts and it's sad and you have to have thick skin to deal with it. So shout out to President Trump for having thick skin, dealing with these backstabbers, the billionaires, funding terrorist organized groups like BLM and Antifa. Let's figure out who it is funding these people. I got it for you. Let's get into it.
Donald Trump claims Hungarian-American billionaire George Soros is responsible for interfering in the political landscape of many countries. The account claims that Soros used a hefty $260 million from U.S. aid to spread chaos, change governments, and pursue personal gain in countries such as India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Ukraine. Now, this comes as the Trump administration continues to freeze U.S. aid's budget, describing its initiatives as misaligned with American interests and accusing them of destabilizing global peace.
Oh, many ideas, but look, he's done a great job. Look at all the fraud that he's found in this U.S. AID. It's a disaster what the people, radical left lunatics, they have things that nobody would have even believed. The whole thing with $100 million spent on you know what, with money going to all sorts of groups that shouldn't deserve to get any money with the money. I'd like to see what the kickbacks are.
So, they mentioned George Soros, the Hungarian billionaire from USAID. USAID is the world's #1 sponsor of terror. That's what they say. And use the funds to spread chaos, incite riots, promote open borders, fund Antifa, finance BLM, topple governments, fuel terrorism, and dismantle justice systems around the world, including here in the United States, all while profiting without spending a single penny of his own. So, in other words, Democrats didn't just shut down the government over free health care for illegals. They did it to keep funding USAID. Now, that's a lot to take in, man. Oh my God, I didn't know that they were that big. Did they speak about the funding of transgenderism, the studies of transgenderism, and all this other crazy stuff that they got going on over on the Democratic side. The Democratic Party has went crazy. That's what you call extreme, radical, left-leaning policies, and it seems that like everybody's a part of it. There's a lot of people, especially black people, that if you vote for this, you agree with this. I don't understand it. I can't put it together in my mind. I would never vote for anything like this. I believe in heterosexual marriage. I believe in America being strong and being smart with the money that we have. We already have a high deficit. Trump is working on getting that down with the tariffs, and it's working pretty good. Even though everybody doubted it, they said that we're going to lose Social Security. They said everything. They said we're going back to slavery. I have yet to see any of it happen. All of the elderly people that I know that receive Social Security legally, the right way, they still have their Social Security. So, man, this is what they call Trump derangement syndrome. This is exactly what they've been speaking about when they speak about Trump derangement syndrome. It's happening. It's going down. BLM and Antifa, political, domestic terrorist groups, and they're coming for you. I got more.
Groups, including the Pritzkers, are funding money to the anti-Israel protesters, backing a foundation funded by the Pritzkers. So this is not complicated. It is just actionable, and nobody's taking action.
Funding terrorist extreme organizations, or those at least who support it, that seems to be something that the FBI, the DOJ should be incredibly interested in.
Oh, yeah.
Look after January 6th, the FBI and the Department of Defense even launched these huge extremism type investigations. I talk about that in my new book, Woke Warriors. The idea that the government is willing to go after and look into the funding and the process behind the right-wing type extremists, or those that are way out there, and they're not doing it to the left. When the message that's being communicated right now is all about supporting Hamas, a terrorist designated organization. This is a true fundamental breakdown in the Biden administration that seems to be trying to capitulate.
Is that a felony? What they're doing?
Well, you take two misdemeanors, you combine them together, it's a felony. So even if you have trespassing and a conspiracy to trespass, you have a felony. But the allegations, I think, and the investigations are much more than just kind of two misdemeanors being put together. These are massive funding operations. You could even look at it as a RICO investigation.
Real quickly, can you go after the donors or some of these organizations where the money's being funneled?
Absolutely. If they know where that money is going, or they have reason to know where it's going, that's criminal.
Coming after the people that's funding Antifa and BLM. And I mean, these protesters, they're just, it's like, okay, they say we can't let street gangs posing as protesters and funded by Democratic billionaires run amok without being challenged. So they got a team together. It's called the Joint Terrorism Task Force. And they are coming after the street gangs posing as protesters. Now, you look at George Soros and the likes of the billionaires that they're speaking of. They said they funded the BLM riots. They funneled money to Antifa. They fund campus occupations at the colleges. Push the liberal, left-leaning, radical agenda. It says many of these groups hide behind the label of civil rights and free speech, but they're just foot soldiers for the far left donor class who vandalize, trespass, and foment chaos, using fear to get what they want. These criminals belong in a cell, and their vast funding networks deserve a RICO investigation. These are the statements of Fox News analysts here, and they coming for you, man. They coming for you guys. I got some more videos for you. Hang on just a second. So right now in Portland, Oregon, Antifa rioters are escalating violence in front of the ICE facilities in Portland. It says that Antifa rioters are escalating violence, throwing explosives and tear gas at DHS agents trying to restore order in front of ICE facilities in Portland. Folks, this don't look nothing like a protest. This is actually a war zone. Let's get into it.
Unquestionably, we should take political peril seriously. Number one, I think it's bad for America when one of our two major political parties has gotten so extreme and radical the way the Democrats are. I mean, they're a party that...
If y'all don't know who that is speaking, that is Senator Ted Cruz of Texas. Trump appointed him senator. And he's speaking on what needs to be taken care of. And they're calling for him to come to Portland. Here it is.
...is unified behind hate for Donald Trump. But number two, politically, in terms of the midterms in 2026, it's dangerous. And I'm telling my colleagues, look, if the election in 2026 depends on results, I think we have a lot to campaign on, whether it is securing the border and seeing illegal border crossings drop 99%, whether it is ending wars and President Trump negotiating the deal to release the hostages that Hamas had taken, or whether it is the economy and the record amount of money being invested in new factories and new jobs in the United States. I think substantively, Republicans have a lot to campaign on. That being said, and you're exactly right, Julie, there is a lot of energy, there is a lot of anger on the left, and elections can be dangerous when one side is mobilized, is angry. I'll tell you in terms of fundraising, the Democrats are raising a lot more money because their radicals hate Trump so much, and look, angry, energized voters show up to vote. And I do worry about just ordinary voters who are happy or complacent, who say, gosh, Trump won, things are good, I don't need to show up and vote. There's no doubt if one side shows up and the other doesn't, that leads to a battle.
So there you have it, folks. The people in Portland are calling for Senator Ted Cruz to come to Portland and clean up things, man. As you can see, that's not a protest. That is clearly a war zone. The ICE agents and the DHS are being assaulted by the protesters. Antifa, causing havoc, rioting, and funded by billionaires such as George Soros and his cohorts. Anybody who wants to take down President Trump is all pitching their money in and paying for soldiers posing as protesters. And they're doing it under the name of civil rights and free speech. And Democrats are falling for it. Black Democrats falling for it too. I'm not falling for it. I see what's going on. I got another video. Black Democrat. Let's see what he has to say.
One thing I noticed last night watching the riots was, yeah, the Mexicans was in the streets tearing up shit or whatever, but it was Antifa joining in when it got dark. You know what I mean? They had the mask on, the backpacks, they came prepared. So I noticed that when us blacks, we was having our protests and they was coming and joining in, putting BLM on, spray painted on the wall and burning shit down and all that, tearing up the city. That was Antifa. Last night, I seen the same thing that I seen during our protests. On corners, they had stacks of bricks and stones and shit like just laid out for them to throw rocks. It's like a setup. Yeah, that's the Democratic Party. That's y'all. Hey, Newsom, you need to go to jail.
So you heard the brother. He said that he noticed it, and I believe him. He's not lying. This is what Antifa looks like when they show up. They said that they had pallets of bricks in place. They came with the proper tools, gas masks, helmets, gloves, probably steel toe boots, backpacks full of supplies. that they could use to start fires, burn down buildings, break glass, hammers, chaos and destruction. That's what they cause. They're all funded by left-leaning billionaires, and the Democrats are in cahoots with these people, and they come in and they tear stuff up to go against the Republican Party and make them look bad. And where are the black people at? In the middle, like pawns. They used y'all. BLM, Antifa, and the left-leaning billionaires that fund Antifa used y'all. When y'all kicked off the George Floyd riots, they took advantage of that and came in and started destroying stuff way worse than you poor black Negroes could. Y'all are always lost. It's time for y'all to wake up, get up off the Democratic plantation. Come over here and join me at UNC TV, the Black Conservative. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell to get notified when I drop more videos. I love you guys. I'm going to be back with more videos on what's going on in politics and pop culture. We out.